We're going to run through the process of putting together your audio and video takes and overlaying your slide. While Mac users have iMovie, there is no built-in multi-track video editor on Windows, so we're going to use Adobe Premiere for this demo. All the student computers at Griffith have Premiere installed, and if you're on your own computer, you can sign up for a free 7-day trial, which should be enough to get your video done. If you can't get access to Premiere and you're on Windows, search the web for a decent free video editor, or if you're using iMovie or Final Cut on the Mac, the principles are exactly the same and you should be able to apply them no matter what software you're using. Premiere can be pretty intimidating when you first look at it, so we're going to keep it extremely straightforward and only tell you what you need to know. There are only really a few basic steps. You're going to export your title slide and your 3MT slide as images from PowerPoint. Import those to Premiere along with your video and audio tracks, line them up with each other and trim them, and then export to a single video file. The steps are the same no matter what software you're using. First, you need to export your PowerPoint slide as an image. The process is very slightly different on a Mac and Windows. On the Mac, open your slide in PowerPoint, go to the File menu and choose Export. Choose PNG for the file type. On Windows, go to the File tab and click Export, then Change File Type, then PNG Portable Network Graphics. Choose a location, and if you're asked, just save the one slide. Now to import all your materials into Premiere. You'll need to transfer your recordings from your camera or your phone over to your computer. It's just not feasible for us to cover all the possible combinations of camera, phone and computer here, so we have to assume that you're able to do this part yourself. There are a lot of good resources online if you search for something like Import Camera Roll to Computer. Once you have all your video and audio recordings on your computer along with your exported slides, you can bring them into Premiere. Open Premiere and create a new project. Then, just double-click in the media bin on the bottom left to import your media files, video, audio, and stills. Now, if you've recorded your audio using a separate microphone, you'll need to synchronize it with the video track. The easy way to do this is to let Premiere take care of it automatically. Highlight both the audio track and the video track, right-click and select Merge Clips. Use the audio as the synchronize point. Also feel free to select Remove Audio from AV Clip. You'll be left with a single merged clip that contains the video from your camera and the high-quality audio from your microphone. Here's a quick clip of the same process using Final Cut Pro on a Mac. The only difference is that it's called synchronizing instead of merging. If you happen to be using a basic editor, fear not. You can manually align your video and audio tracks. Just drag the video clip into the timeline in the bottom right, then drag the audio clip in underneath it. Now, remember those 3 claps you made at the beginning of your recording. They'll turn up as 3 spikes in the audio waveforms of both clips. All you need to do is zoom in and drag the clips forward and back until those 3 spikes line up. Once they're in line, just mute the audio clip from the camera so that you can only hear the high quality recording. So you've got the clips synchronized, you've got them onto your editing timeline. The next thing to do is trim the parts of the recording you don't need and add your intro and presentation slides. Drag the playhead to a point just before you start speaking. Then select the blade tool and click on your clips to split them. Select the Select tool, click on the section at the beginning you want to get rid of and press Delete. Don't forget to also trim the end of your video so it ends just after you finish speaking. The process in Final Cut is almost identical. Finally, your slides. Drag your title slide from the media bin onto the beginning of the timeline. You might need to reposition the video and audio tracks. Then drag your presentation slide onto a track above your video track. That way it will be superimposed on it. Drag the right edge of the clip all the way to the end of your video track so that it lasts the entire duration. It's going to be in the middle of the screen at first. You can double-click the slide in the viewer to resize and reposition it into one corner. If you want to cut to your slide at any point, you can do it by using the blade tool again. Snip the slide track at the points where you want it to cut to and cut away. Then move the playhead so it's inside that portion of the track, and double-click on the slide in the viewer so you can resize it to full screen for just that section of the clip. Here's a clip of the same process in Final Cut. And iMovie, just to show that the process is very similar no matter what editor you're using. iMovie has a feature called Picture-in-Picture that does very much the same thing. Finally, you need to export your video. Go to the File menu and choose Export Media. Choose H.264 as the format and use Match Source as the preset. Just ignore all the other settings and click Export. And that's it. Information about uploading your video and all the other entry requirements, including submitting your standalone slide, can be found at griffith.edu.au/3mt. Good luck.